the wildfire. So, all right. So we made it up to Estes Park. We just got back. Back there behind me, about 5-6 bags of supplies, mostly food. We were running a little bit low. You know, with like 5 people there at the parent-in-law's place, things tend to dry up pretty quickly. So just within the last few days, we've been getting a little low on foods. But one tip is, like, you know, during a, I guess, kind of a quote-unquote survival situation like we're in, yeah, just it's so important to have a network of neighbors, friends, because we did, or at least my parent-in-law hooked up a connection over the past week. It's kind of a barter deal, I guess you could say. Their neighbors had evacuated after the mandatory evacuation notice, and they had what we wanted, and we had what they wanted, basically. They needed their plants and their gardens watered, and I think birds fed, maybe. That was tossed in the mix, too. And but yeah, they just pretty much said, help yourself to whatever food we have in the fridge or even in the pantry. So that was awesome. I mean, we haven't been starving lately. Been eating pretty well fed. We had the other night, Richie cooked up some, I don't know, it said on the package anyway, fresh caught Alaskan salmon. And it's not something I eat too much of, but it was pretty dang good. I mixed up a little bit of my own tartar sauce. But yeah, that's just a little tip, I guess. Pro tip for today. Make networks of like-minded people with resources and skills. I mean, you hear that a lot, but it's just kind of came into practice over the week. Became a reality, I guess, when we started running low on certain supplies, and we're looking around like, okay, we don't have any milk left. What was the other thing? We didn't have any cooking oil, like olive oil. There's a few things. We're running low on eggs, all that stuff. So goes quickly, just saying. Anyway, it's like nothing ever happened up here in Estes Park. I mean, this place is just, you can't phase Estes Park, man. It's like, yeah, the tourists are gonna tourist, right? So yeah, it's a beautiful day. That's in fact, it's a little bit gusty. I'm a little bit worried about that, but we'll probably head down to Drake, just try to get an eye on what's going on there. That was one of the Alpha, I think it was called, right? Code Alpha Quadrant, whatever they call it, was one of the key points of the fire that they had to fend off today, to the south, and then up to the north. There's another, can't remember the name of that one, but it was up towards, pushing towards Storm Mountain. So be interesting to see how the fire is being, how successful they are to fight off the fire today down in Drake. So I might drive down and get a few more pictures, a little bit more footage, and who knows, maybe even talk to the officers at the checkpoint again and see what kind of, see if they've laxed the rules any like they have here in Glen Haven. I kind of doubt it, but yeah, in and out of Estes, it's just not even a checkpoint right now. So you can just, anybody and everybody can just drive in and out. A little bit surprised by that, but hey, Larimer County, it's not all that bad sometimes. I can't complain. It could be Boulder, right? That's always, that girl's car needs to fix. Might need some oil or something. It's rattling. Yeah, you can, that's my go-to. Like, it could be Boulder, right? It could be Boulder County. But here in Colorado, unfortunately, more and more places are starting to look like Boulder. But not Larimer yet. Anyway, we're going to check on further up down the road. National Guard representing. There's our chick.
We heard that we could come up and check on our animals. I have 10 chickens up there.
Gotcha. As of right now, our directive is to keep both Highway 43 and Storm Mountain Drive, their hard closures. Have you been in contact with the Longmont Joint Information Center?
No.
My dad might have.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I would recommend that when you guys get to a good service spot that you contact the Larimer County Joint Information Center, give them a phone call, and they might be able to arrange a police escort, but as of this time, we're not allowed to allow anybody up or really that way either.
conflicts with what we heard. We heard all you had to do is show proof of ID to get to your house right now.
So that's for the soft checkpoints, so the ones that are way down there on the other end. But this checkpoint is still a hard checkpoint for us, so until we get other information, nobody's allowed in other than fire and EMS.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised. Okay.
All right.
Heading back to Glenhaven, I guess. Yeah, she's got chickens. Not sure about their condition.
Yeah, I heard what you're saying. There's a lot of people who have been trying to come up here for animals, and that's why I'm saying that you should probably go to the Joint Information Center, because there's one guy who had Larimer County come up and get his horses, so they might be able to like work something out with you guys. Just unfortunately, we're not allowed to let anybody up there right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right.
So if you guys just want to do a U-turn right here, this is probably the best option. And then again, since that way's closed, we're just gonna have to send you back down the road.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, nobody up then. Nobody up.
Say again?
Not allowing anybody up for any reason.
Nope. No one's allowed up. Residents, if they're up there currently, if they leave, they can't come back.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just allowing the fire crews freedom of movement while they're up there. I know we've had people come through our checkpoints that just want to see the burn area, see the fire area. So we're here to mitigate that traffic and make sure people aren't trying to get past the point and bog down the fire crews that are up there.
Right. Yeah, we got IDs that show our address and everything, but
yeah, and we understand that. And when they do a soft opening to residents, we'll be more than happy to get you in there. I hope it comes sooner than later.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Okie dokie.
All right.
So we're headed back up again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Later. Okay, that's official National Guard. Fun drive. These balls had fun.
Yeah.
Chickens are near starvation mode, but other than that, nasty. Oh well. Well, that was disheartening, deflating, to say the least. We were just up in Estes Park because the word went out that our once mandatory, now voluntary evacuation status here in the Glenhaven area has now been abolished, I guess. And so we were up in Estes Park just getting a few essentials, like mainly food items from the grocery store up there. One and only grocery store, right? Safeway. Even though there are technically two, most people don't know that. Just happens to be like one of, if not the most busy Safeways in the country, by the way. But yeah, we were just up there, and a family member of ours just called us and said that they had just read online that we have been given the go-ahead to go on up and check on the property up there, up the mountain in Drake. And so yeah, the two of us were a little bit excited, it's an understatement, just to get a first glimpse of what things look like up there. More importantly, we've been meaning to get some more feed to the chickens. We happen to have some, but it's in the house, which is locked up. There's a Storm Mountain Facebook, which very few people are part of, by the way. I'm still not even a member. I tried to sign up during all this, but I still haven't been accepted. And but that's the Facebook for Storm Mountain is pretty much the go-to for any kind of inside information on what's actually transpiring up there. Regularly there's people up there who stayed up on the mountain who are posting pictures and video of what things actually look like, and that's where I got the for anybody wondering, I know I got a lot of hands in prayer and hearts out there for our place. As far as I can tell from the last 2 days, the images that I've seen of our area, it does appear that the fires didn't quite get close enough to burn down our house, and I can even see our house on a few recent images. So that's, again, praise God. I'm heartfelt, sincerely sorry for the, what is it now, 24 homes that have been completely destroyed. I think there's 4 homes that have been damaged, and then multiple, dozens of structures that have also been affected by the fire. Yeah, there's just been so much frustration from people, you can imagine, right? People that were up in the trees near the fire line, just wondering, probably having those sleepless nights, not knowing whether or not their house and their belongings are still there. And so this is always the case in situations like this, there's a growing frustration with the authorities, and maybe rightly so. I don't know, who am I? I'm a rabble rouser, often, I guess. But, so yeah, we all excited. We came back up here to drop off the groceries, stormed back down to the highway, and headed on to Drake, fully expecting to be able to be allowed up there today. And then we pull up, and a bunch of National Guards standing around, Humvees, and they give us a hard no. They say they're not allowed to allow anybody up there for any reason, even if you're livestock or starving to death, basically. But so I did get back home. I did check the actual Facebook posts on this Alexander Fire, official Facebook page, and what they're actually saying now is that the Larimer County Office of Emergency Management is setting up credentialing stations this Monday and Tuesday of this week. And so there's one up here in Estes. I guess we'll have to go and do that now, drive all the way back up to Estes to get our credentials, right? And there's other places in the DMV and in Loveland down below. But I just thought that was kind of, weird. I don't know. I guess I remember during the flood that they had these little badges, I believe, that we hung on our mirrors as we drove around. But just the idea that in order to get one of these badges or papers, right? Papers, please. In order to go see your own property, you have to have one form of valid ID showing that you live in that location. So I just think to myself, well, why can't I just, pull out my valid driver's license? And it says right there, it says my address right there in my driver's license. Why can't I just show that at the checkpoint? Why do I have to go through this other little hoop and get into their little database, whatever it is, for whatever purposes? Why do I have to check in with the feds in order to go exercise my constitutional rights to go up to our own property? I just get a little testy over these kind of things, any kind of thing that impedes my ability to exercise my own constitutional rights just gets under my skin a little bit. I guess there's a few others of us out there who have the same sentiments, if you check this Facebook post. Alright, here's the deal. We're in Estes Park to get our credentials. No, I just don't want to be I don't want to be one of these rabble rousers, right, that ask too many questions, right? Like, why can't I just drive up to my own property with a valid driver's license with my address, my home address on it? So we're going through the process, jumping through the hoops, and see how it goes, I guess. Other people have said on the local email group up there in Storm Mountain that it's been a pretty easygoing process. They just need a form of ID, right, like a driver's license. I think they might need a what's it called? Registration. Sorry, I'm just sleep deprived over the last week now. Scatterbrained, a little brain fog. I just finally got some real coffee in me this morning though, so that might help. I doubt it, but and I think that's it, right? Form of ID to prove that you are who you say you are and you live where you say you live, and registration, I think, on one of your vehicles, and then you can supposedly tell them that, other people within your household, you can add them to the list, I guess, of people who are able to go visit the home. And then hopefully here, one of the locals that stayed up there, local firefighter, Micaiah, his name is, he's been putting out some videos of his own the last few days, kind of updates on what's happening, and he says, according to him anyway, within the next 48 hours, now it's Tuesday today when I'm filming this, but I'm not sure when you see this, but within the next 48 hours, so, assuming by Wednesday, Thursday, they'll start allowing people up there to survey their homes and, get whatever needs to be done. I'm assuming they're not going to let them stay up there. And from the sounds of it, it's kind of like this timed thing, so you might have like an escort. Sheriffs, I think that's what happened last time. We had like a sheriff follow us up to the property and then let us do our thing, and then they kind of escort you back out of there, right? Out of the danger zone. But there's a lot of construction going on over here in the parking lot. We're just picking up our mail right now at the post office. They're doing a lot of... This town has no shortage of money, I tell you. Estes Park. Busy, busy, busy. It's like nothing ever happened up here. It's like totally different worlds. That's how it is kind of in the mountains. Sometimes you get in your own little bubble, isolation bubble, and people just over the hill don't know what's happening just a few miles away from them. But the show must go on up here in Estes Park. The money must keep flowing. So otherwise, I mean, it's not too bad other than the homes that were... It's still up for debates, whether or not they were needlessly lost. There's still some discrepancies in the stories that I'm hearing about some of the people that stayed up there, local residents. A few people have voiced their disapproval, let's say, that there were some pretty real gaps. And if you remember that evacuation day video that I took, all of those firefighting vehicles that left that night, and all the planes, landed, right when those flames were just right over the crest of that hill, right over the top of those homes. And so, be interesting. I'm tossing around this idea in my mind of possibly interviewing, some of the locals that stayed up here. I know a couple of them. One of them's our close neighbor. Micaiah has another one. He's not too far from us. You can see our place from his house. It might be interesting to do a little, it's kind of out of the ordinary for me. I'm kind of a mountain hermit myself, stick to myself a lot, if you haven't noticed. Try to stay out of other people's business. I expect the same out of them. But I might be interested in doing a couple little quick interviews, and some of these people, if nothing else, there's discussion of having some kind of get-together celebration after the fire, right? So it might be a good opportunity to carry around the camera, put people on the spot, something I don't really doing, but it'd be interesting to get some other perspectives of some of the people that stayed, as all you know that I didn't, although I probably should have. Although I would have never had power to get out these videos to all you guys out there, so I guess I need to get more, off-grid ready, I guess. Apparently what I learned from all this is, as much as I hate to feed the Skynet operation being led out by Elon Musk, it is handy to have one of those little portable SpaceX satellites. And, of course, just an external form of... I do have, in the RV at home, it does have a pretty good size Onan generator on it, so that would be one way of powering something like that, some kind of a mobile command center that, it's just this constant work in progress, right? The Nightwatch Mobile. Someday, maybe it'll be a truly nuclear holocaust proof, right? I don't think so, but it's fun to speculate. In any case, it's been, again, try to learn the lessons when they present themselves to you. Every mistake that you've made in the past, make it a learning experience so you don't repeat it, right? That's the idea. Otherwise, we're all insane if we don't, apply what we've learned into the present, on into the future. Hope that sounded wise and old man like, you know, as gray as I'm getting lately. Anyway, God bless everybody. We're going to see what happens here when we try to get our credentials, our papers, please. And yeah, check back in a little bit. All right, here we are. This is Park Event Center. Pick up our papers, please. Yeah.
Hello, are you here to be credentialed?
Yes. All right. So this is where you get credentialed. Here we are. Wow, what a place. There it is. Oop, there it is.